What's up, everybody? Wolf from Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys.
Oh, no.
Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker.
What up, what up, what up? Tis I, Dave Erking, the host of your Whole Angler podcast. Welcome back to everybody. Thank you for putting up with the throwback episodes. My life has been all over the place lately, but I just want to make sure you guys are getting at least an episode a week. I'm trying to stay as consistent as I possibly can with my schedule. It's crazy. So speaking of crazy schedules and crazy lives, no guest this week. This is more of a check-in, just to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit. We're going to go back to the end of season 2, right? I had Fred Rabanis on. He's actually going through some stuff right now. So if you guys want, feel free to reach out to him. It's all looking good, but it's definitely something that, you know, people shouldn't have to do alone. And that kind of brings me to, it is June, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I would kind of like to talk about talking to each other just for a little bit. I am going to have some guests on this month, hopefully, to kind of emphasize this factor, and we're definitely going to get into it in depth. So I'm not going to, put it all out, like put the juice out on the table, like, oh, blow my load real fast and give it all right here. But check in on your friends, check in on your good friends, check in on your bad friends, check in on your acquaintances, check in on your strong friends, the guys who are the ones carrying the weight, the guys who never have anything going on, like, oh, everything's good, nothing's wrong. Check in on those people. That is a real thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're okay inside. A lot of people don't know how to talk about these things. A lot of people don't even know how to bring these up. Like me, I'm pretty much somewhat of an open book. Like when people go, oh, how are you doing? My go-to response is tired, because I am tired all the time. But like stuff has happened, and like at the end of season 2, life was okay. I was very busy. Business took off. I was, in owning a business, I've always been like in a business. I've never been owning the businesses. And so owning these businesses, there's a lot of extra going on, dude. Like my stress levels have gone through the roof to the point where I've actually talked to a doctor. I'm looking at my cortisol levels. I'm doing a lot of different things in my health to keep my brain and body physically okay, because not only am I tired, not only am I overstressed because of work, there's a lot of emotional involvement. Like when it comes to being a father, like stuff, like by the end of the day, like I'm so burnt, like to sit there and like trying to emotionally connect. Like it's like I'm blinking my eyes right now, just trying to be like just trying to get into that mental mode or that emotional level. It's a struggle. It's really hard. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm the victim, I'm being the dude, the provider. Ooh, that's what we're supposed to do. And it's not always easy. So if guys that are out there with young kids or families, they're, whether they're owning their businesses or just working hard, they're doing their own thing, like check in on them. Like, what's up, dude? Like, just, that's a lot. Like, let me know how you are. I have a couple buddies that I check in with regularly. I got to actually go to an AA meeting the other night. And it was really cool to like talk to some of these guys, because I haven't seen them in a while. It's my home group and I haven't been able to go for a while. And so it was really nice to like just see some buddies and reconnect and just kind of check in. And, everybody's not okay. And that's amazing. Don't get me wrong, I don't love that everybody's suffering or going through something. Like that's not like I love that, like tell me more. But I love the raw honesty. I love the connection that we get to have. It's like, no, dude, I'm not okay. Like it's rough right now. It's rough. And I'm not going to put that on my wife. I'm not going to put that. I mean, I explained to her, yeah, this is a struggle. But I'm not going to put all this emotional load or this mental overwhelming, lifestyle or whatever. I'm not going to put that on other people. I feel like it's a burden to give them. But when I get around my boys and like, we can actually chat, like it's something different, because they genuinely, like, they taught me in AA, and I love it. It's when you say, hey, how are you? Expect an answer, like a real answer, not I'm good. like I'm good is walking by somebody on the sidewalk, when you're sitting in a room with your guys or sitting around with some of your close homies, or even jumping on the phone to be like, hey dude, just checking in. Like, expect an answer, look for an answer, dig deeper if they're not giving you not necessarily the answer you want, but that there's more there. That brings me to the next point. I talk a lot on the phone. I talk to a lot of people on the phone. In fact, it's Monday when you guys hear this, so the Bassmaster just ended. Congratulations to the winner, the Bassmaster Kayak Series Clear Lake. Applause, add applause here. Buddy, today is the day when you guys hear this. I will be going and meeting Bailey Egbert in person. Never met the dude. Had him on the show. We've talked, we've chatted on the phone. Like I said, calling people on the phone. We've chatted many a times, but I've never actually got to sit and like kick it with the dude. So hopefully he doesn't hate me by the end of this day. But either way, I get to meet him today. I'm excited about it. But just a huge shout out to like my buddy John Mahoney, who like kind of just picked up and took this whole game running out here in California. Like we're trying to make it to where if somebody wants to come out here and do something, like we got you, like we want to encourage the community in kayak fishing, like the community that I was just speaking on with my boys here locally. I would love to see that community in kayak fishing. I have found a lot of it in kayak fishing. I've been around fishing for a while now. A lot of cowboys, no offense to the cowboys. Like I understand that's your lifestyle. That's how you speak. That's not mine. That's not how I speak. I speak from the heart. I speak straight. What's in here usually comes out here to a fault sometimes, but also I mean what I say. And I'm very passionate about things, and I'm very passionate about checking in on your boys. I'm very passionate about connecting with people. I really think it's super important, and I love that the kayak community is so connected this way. But there's still always room for growth. So if you guys have suggestions on room for growth, I'm going to take a bunch of suggestions this week. So if you guys have suggestions on how people can connect, or how, we could all link together, maybe to make this place a little bit more, not necessarily emotionally or mentally safe for each other, but how can we get to be a little bit more connected than just like, because the driving force is we all love going and catching fish in Tupperware. That's what we love to do. I love to sit in a piece of Tupperware. I got a few. Float on water, catch fish. Like that is my favorite thing. Like it is so fun to do. But at the end of the day, like I go out with buddies, and sometimes the fishing's secondary because we end up having a conversation and we end up connecting or getting to know each other, not getting to know each other better, but like really getting into each other's like emotional levels and not necessarily value systems, but we make sure that what's important to the other person is cared for. I'm not saying we go on the island and give each other tuggies, but like we check in and we make sure that our friends are supported. And if you're out there and you're new to this whole game, and if you're new to this show is not necessarily about fishing. Yes, I love fishing, and I have anglers on here, but this show has basically been based around people's lives, who they are as humans. And if we're not connecting with each other as humans, that's not a connection. That's just an acquaintance. So I will say, I'm putting this out there to you guys. If you guys have suggestions or like ideas, or even a personal experience of how you've been able to connect with somebody and get to know them better, a better relationship, I would love to hear it. I'm going to be taking them and I'm going to be putting them into the next couple shows. I'm going to add them, either turn them into questions or give scenarios to the guests, because the idea is that this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and not all of us are not okay. Some of us are great. Some of us are not. But you never know if you don't ask. You never know if you don't reach out. You never know if you don't check in. And another thing, I'm going to get a little bit more behind the curtain. After season 2, I had a couple very close deaths, one in the family and one basically a family member, a girl that was my sister's best friend since kindergarten. Like I've known her since I was in first grade, because my sister's a year younger than me. Like we've grown up together. We don't hang out all the time. We lived 500 something miles apart from each other, but nonetheless, that was still like a family member to me emotionally. And yeah, both her and my uncle passed away in like a matter of months. Like life was a struggle for a minute, and it was something that like I found I wasn't necessarily dealing with in the most healthy situations, and it was coming out in my work. It was coming out in my relationship with my immediate family, my kids and my wife and my friends. Like I didn't really talk about it because I mean, I talk about things as you can tell. Uh but I didn't talk about it in the most healthy of lights, and I just kind of referenced it and let it go. I wasn't waiting for a question. I wasn't putting it out there to like, "Oh, please ask me more." It was one of those things that I wasn't necessarily ready for, but it put a perspective in my mind of like, you give people their flowers after they're gone, you know? And when I say flowers, I don't mean like an actual bouquet. Like you tell them exactly what they meant to you after they've passed away. That's amazing. But so to say it's falling on deaf ears is like an understatement. It's something that we should do before we lose somebody. In fact, I implore you guys to like take the people around you in the next month or so and just, dude, this is what you mean to me. Like, as lame as that sounds, like I will be the first one to talk some smack because if you know me in person, I talk a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, like, be genuine and be authentic and be like, look, this is what you mean to me. Because you never know. We never know, dude. Like, a giant rainstorm could come tomorrow or a tornado or whatever. I don't know how it goes in the Midwest. I don't live out there, but like tornadoes like pick houses up. People could disappear. Like you might not get another chance to say something to somebody. So take today, take this week, take this month, and make sure that you reach out to the people that really mean the world to you and let them know exactly what they mean to you. Don't read it at their eulogy. Don't wait 10 years. Don't wait 15 years. Say the unsaid thing now. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's a very short episode. I have a lot to do today. I have a lot, you know, like I said, my life is very busy. I am very overworked and I've been sleeping a little bit more lately. That's been nice, but now it's time to get back to the grind. So without further ado,
I'm waffle place. And no one place. And there's no babies for a few days. There's some banana trees. There's some trees. Go my dada.